Hello, and welcome to another edition of Nigeria in Focus on Diaspora Digital Media. I'm your host, Ibrahim Umar Wase, aka The General. Today's edition aims to shed light on the complexities of Nigerian history through the stories of the enslaved, the oppressed, and the marginalized. To help us gain a deeper understanding of the country, we'll delve into the complexities of Nigerian history, as the saying goes, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of the hunt shall always glorify the hunter. On this program, we seek to rectify that imbalance by sharing the stories that need to be told. The scars of the slavery still lingers. In this program, we'll focus on the tale of two trades, the Trans-Atlantic and Trans-Sahara slave trades, which saw millions of Nigerians forcibly taken from their homes and sold into bondage. The pain and suffering inflicted upon these individuals and their families are immeasurable, and the trauma of this ugly past continue to impact our society today. In the program, we'll also explore the impact of colonialism on Nigeria, including the exploitation of its natural resources and the imposition of foreign cultures and values. However, despite the horror of slavery, there are also inspiring stories of resilience, courage, and determination. The program highlights the experiences of enslaved Nigerians who fought back against their oppressors, like the inspiring story of the Igbo landing. It also celebrates the achievement and courage of our founding fathers. This program aims to explore the hidden treasure of our past and the courage of our ancestors, a testament to the resilience and strength of the Nigerian people who have endured despite the challenges and hardship they have faced. Let's get started. My dear viewers, gather around and listen closely, for I have a tale to tell that will make your heart heavy with sorrow. It is a story of two trades that left deep scars on the society of West Africa: the Trans-Atlantic and the Trans-Sahara slave trades. Let's start with the Trans-Atlantic slave trades, a brutal and inhuman system of slavery that lasted for centuries. It began in the 15th century when European explorers established trade relationship with West African kingdoms. Initially, the trade focused on goods such as gold, ivory, and spices, but soon it expanded to include human beings. Millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homes, sold into slavery, and transported across the ocean to the Americas. The conditions on this voyage were brutal and inhumane, with many dying during the journey. Those who survived were forced to adopt European customs, languages, and religions, leading to the erasure of their African identity. As the saying goes, when the wind blows, the grass bends. The transatlantic slave trade was a powerful wind that blew through the West Africa, leaving a trail of destruction and devastation in its wake. The trade had a profound impact on West African societies and the Americas, contributing to the growth and development of the Americas, particularly the United States. However, its legacy continues to be felt today, with ongoing issues of racism, inequality, and social justice. But the transatlantic slave trade was not the only trade that left its mark on West Africa. The Trans-Sahara slave trade, which began in the 8th century, was another system of slavery that lasted for centuries and left deep scars on the societies of West Africa. It started when Arab traders and travelers crossed the Sahara Desert, establishing trade routes that connected West Africa to North Africa, the Mediterranean, and beyond. At first, the trade focused on goods such as gold, ivory, and salt, but soon it expanded to include human beings. The Trans-Sahara slave trade was like a slow-moving poison that spread its tentacles across the West Africa, devastating communities and societies. West African kingdoms and empires like the Ghana Empire, the Mali Empire, Kanem-Borno Empire, Hausa City States, and the Songhai Empire became major suppliers of slaves to the Trans-Sahara trade. Millions of people were forcibly taken from their homes, sold into slavery, and transported across the desert to unknown destinations. The impact on West African society was devastating, including but not limited to depopulation, disruption of traditional social structures, and exploitation of natural resources. It is also important to note that it was in the business of the Arab enslavers to castrate African slaves. The Trans-Atlantic and Trans-Sahara slave trades were like two elephants that fought over the bodies and souls of West Africans, leaving behind a trail of destruction and devastation. But even in the midst of this destruction, there is a glimmer of hope and a flicker of defiance. By remembering and learning from this painful chapter in our history, we can walk towards a more just and equitable society where everyone has access to same opportunities and resources. Transatlantic and Trans-Saharan slave trades were two systems of slavery that left deep scar on the society of West Africa. By understanding the impact of these trades on our social, economic, political, cultural, and theological norms and belief systems, we can begin to heal the wounds of the past and build a better future for ourselves and the generation to come. Amid the shackle of bondage, our ancestors refused to surrender. Their indomitable spirit igniting a fire of resistance that continues to inspire us today. One tale that embodies this unyielding spirit is that of Igbo landing, where enslaved Igbo people, forcibly brought to the shore of Georgia, choose to take a leap of faith into the waters rather than submit to life of servitude. This heroic act of defiance has become an enduring symbol of the Nigerian people's resilience and courage. We also honor the memories of other enslaved Nigerians who dared to challenge their oppressors. There were those who led rebellions on plantations in the Americas, such as the St. John the Baptist Parish Slave Rebellion in Louisiana. Others escaped from slavery and formed maroon communities in Brazil and Jamaica, while some continue to practice their culture, language, and tradition in secret, preserving their identities and heritage. As we celebrate the bravery of our enslaved ancestors, we also pay tribute to the vision and courage of our founding fathers. These trailblazers fought tirelessly for Nigerian independence, paving the way for the country we know today. Notable among them are Herbert Macaulay and Ahmadu Bello, the Sardauna of Sokoto, who championed the Nigerian nationalism and fought against British colonial rule. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa and Nnamdi Azikiwe, who played a key role in Nigeria's independent movement and became the country's first president and prime minister respectively, and Obafemi Awolowo, who worked tirelessly to promote education, healthcare, and economic development in Nigeria. Their legacy continues to inspire us today, remind us that the dog that barks does not bite, but the one that bites does not bark. In other words, it is not the loudmouths who make a difference, but those who take action. As we move forward, let us draw strength from the unbroken spirit of our enslaved ancestors and the courage of our founding fathers. Let us continue to fight for justice, equality, and freedom, and let us work together to build a Nigeria that is worthy of their sacrifice. As the African proverb goes, when spiderweb unites, they can tie up a lion. Together, we can achieve greatness. Let's conclude with this simple yet profound truth entrenched in an African proverb: the last camel in line walks as quick as the first. This timeless wisdom reminds us that our individual experiences are intertwined and the well-being of one affects us all. And so, dear friends, our journey through the scars of slavery comes to an end, but the memory and lessons will linger on. As we conclude this tale of two truths, we remember the wise words of Maya Angelou: you may not control all the events that happens to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. We have walked through the dark corridors of the Trans-Atlantic and Trans-Saharan slave trades, witnessing the brutal treatment of our ancestors, forced to endure the unthinkable. Yet, despite the shackle of bondage, they held on to hope. Our ancestors found way to resist, to rise above, and to pass on their story, their culture, and their resilience. As we reflect on this painful history, we are reminded that the scars of slavery are still with us today. Systemic racism, inequality, and social injustice continue to affect communities of Kolo worldwide. Not just that, tribal imperialism, religiosity has destroyed the moral fabric of our society, but we must not be deterred. Instead, we must draw strengths from our ancestors' struggles and continue to push forward. Just as the saying goes, fall down 7 times and stand up 8. So let us rise up, dear friends, and continue to tell our story, to share our history, and to fight a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Let us honor the memory of our ancestors by working towards a brighter future, one where the chain of oppression are broken and where we can all live together in peace and harmony. As we close this chapter, we leave you with the powerful words of Nelson Mandela: the greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. We may continue to rise above the scars of slavery, and may our collective stories inspire future generations to create a world where freedom, justice, and equality reign supreme. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Now, we want to hear from you. Join the conversation and share your thoughts on the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get alerted when we drop a new video. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Nigeria in Focus on Diaspora Digital Media. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay inspired. Remember, change begins with a single step, and together we can take a giant leap. Join us on the next episode as we delve into another critical issues affecting Nigeria. Stay tuned for more insightful discussion, expert analysis, and compelling stories. Thanks for joining. Until next time, bye.